Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Ahad Khan and you are watching the fourth episode of our podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Saqib Rafiq Chaudhary. Like we often meet with the people who have around 20-25 years of experience, but not everyone become a respectful leader, CEO or mentor. Mr. Saqib is one of those professionals who has earned all these three through his journey and the leadership. Well, today's conversation will be a mix of Urdu and English so everyone understand it better, right? So, sir, welcome to the postcard, and it's an honor for me that you joined this podcast and honor for me to host you. So, sir, to start with, could you please tell us about your career journey? People have seen your impressive profile of LinkedIn, but we love to hear you from your side.
When people ask me and they want me to tell them in one line that who I am, I always tell them I am a student of leadership. But obviously, if I have to give you the rundown in my journey about my business, I started my business 14 years ago. Prior to that, I was working in corporate. I was living in the UK. I was working in public and private transport. I did my MBA back in 2010 from Anglia Ruskin in Cambridge. After my MBA, I was working for someone else as a manager. I was looking after the logistic business. And then I started a business called Qazi Investments, which is QYG, based in the UK. And we used to sell properties, and we were dealing with properties in the UK mainly, but then we started working on Pakistani real estate. In the past 13 odd years, I have been working on multiple projects.
Okay.
I am an events organizer. I am in the real estate business. I am also in other sales businesses.
Yes, you have a
So
diversified
the whole
experience,
journey
right?
is, yeah, I'm in sales and mainly entrepreneurship.
Perfect. Perfect. So, sir, what inspired you to start with your professional journey, and what were the biggest turning point in your career?
I think I was one of them youngsters who always wanted to have a 9 to 5 job. I was I would rather call I was someone who would not come out of the comfort zone. But I think the biggest contribution was meeting people who were actually serial entrepreneurs or people who were hardworking. And after meeting them, I realized वो जो एक उर्दू में कहावत होती है कुएं का मेंढक और आपको पूरी तरह से अंदाजा ही नहीं होता कि असल दुनिया बाहर आबाद है. So soon I came out of that a very small circle of very close friends who were always saying बहुत ज़्यादा काम करके सेहत गिर जाएगी, ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा. And then I realized, yeah, I have the potential of starting my own business, and rest is history now.
Perfect, perfect. So, having recruited talent across different countries, what are the biggest mistakes candidates make during the hiring process?
It's a very technical question, and I have to give you the technical answer. I have to give you answer point by point, such as लोग जो हैं वो tailored made CV नहीं बनाते. एक CV है, they're giving it to someone for the sales job, they're giving the same CV someone else for administration job, someone else for HR position. Then weak communication skills. Not only जब आप वहाँ जाकर बैठेंगे तभी बात करेंगे, then only they will realize about your communication skill. But through your CV, people are communicating completely very weakly, and they are not addressing their needs of the employer जो बंदा चीज मांग रहा है. Also, I think मैंने अभी जो चीज बहुत ज्यादा फेस की है वो ये है कि people, especially the job applicants from the Gen Z, and I love Gen Z to be honest.
Okay.
They're very kind, very nice people, but they can be very challenging as well. They are always focused on the salary. Halfway through the interview, मैं रोज का तकरीबन 10 से 15 इंटरव्यू करता हूँ, महीने के almost 300 plus इंटरव्यू करता हूँ. Halfway through, how come you can even ask me for the salary? I am interviewing someone. I am middle of the interview. I am asking them about their parents, about their past, about their qualification, and they are asking me, "Sir, salary कितनी होगी?" That's very disrespectful. So I think ये बहुत बड़ा मसला है. और मेरे ख्याल में जब आखिरी बात आती है, sometimes they don't just turn up. Sometimes they don't reply to the follow-ups. They believe कि जी मेरी junk email के अंदर email नहीं आनी चाहिए थी. They believe कि जिन नंबर से पहले कॉल आई थी उसी से कॉल आनी चाहिए थी. I mean, मुझे याद है when we used to go for interviews, right? हम तो भाई अपना मोबाइल जो है वो रात को भी ऑन रख के सोते थे, शायद कॉल आ जाए, राइट? सो आई थिंक फॉलो अप्स बिल्कुल भी नहीं लिए जाते, दे वेरी weak in terms of follow ups, and they don't know even how to take a follow up. Sometimes they can be extremely rude, the job applicants these days. They will call you or they will drop you an email and or send a text maybe. क्योंकि ये जो डिजिटल की आसानियां है ना, इन्होंने कहीं ना कहीं हम लोगों को खराब ही कर दिया है। और वो कहेंगे व्हाट इज द आउटकम ऑफ माय जॉब, आई केम फॉर एन इंटरव्यू। अच्छा, पीएस जो होती हैं, जो असिस्टेंट एचआर होती हैं, उनका ये खास काम होता है, वो जैसी बात होती है ऐसी लाके बॉस के मुंह पे मारते हैं।
बिल्कुल ऐसे ही।
तो वो कहते हैं बॉस, यू नो दैट गर्ल केम फॉर द इंटरव्यू, शी सेंड मी दिस टेक्स्ट, एंड व्हेन यू सी द टेक्स्ट यू से या प्रोबब्ली आई मेड अ मिस्टेक, right? This person is maybe not fit for this job. So I think a huge communication error, और उसकी वजह से half of the people don't even qualify to be invited for the interview. जो CV पहले से शेयर करते हैं वो, because they are so sometimes can be so lazy that they don't want to have 5 or 6 or 7 files sitting in their system, one HR, one admin, other one sales, because you know one person can be fit enough to work in 7 or 8 different jobs according to the needs of that organization. So people have to understand, if you are a job seeker, you should be putting a little bit more effort into your CV as well as into your system, and you should be ready for every single job that you probably have to apply for.
Perfect. Sir, despite of receiving thousands of applications, कंपनी फिर भी जाके राइट अगर कैंडिडेट नहीं सिलेक्ट कर पा रही, तो वेयर डू यू फाउंड द रियल गैप एग्जिस्ट?
देखिए, असल में जो है ना, जो एम्प्लॉयज होते हैं ना, द रीजन व्हाई दे मेनली स्ट्रगल, आई गिव यू अ फ्यू बुलेट पॉइंट्स फॉर दैट. Sometimes they, again, like I said, they're not identifying the skills that they need. Okay,
Right.
they are giving you a very vague kind of information to the job applicants. So probably the right people that I am looking for not even turning up to my interview, because I am the one who is sending the wrong message. I give you one example of the lighthouse. If the lighthouse turned its light off, right, it's not the ship that is incapable. It's the lighthouse that is not actually providing the right information. So employer has to understand that if you cannot communicate what kind of job you're offering, right, you end up in problems.
Better
Right?
align your
That's the
duty,
first
right?
thing. Absolutely. And then we
So, sir,
try to
like,
invite everyone for the interview. That's also wrong. You know, the HR people have their own targets. So what they do is they start inviting everyone for the interview. और उसमें क्या होता है कि आपके पास जब लाइनें लग जाती हैं, I'll give you my prime example. The other day I came after the Eid holiday, the Badi Eid, and we had almost 40 people sitting outside. Now I could not meet everyone, and I could not find out one single candidate, because मेरा टाइम इतना ज्यादा कीमती है कि आप सबको 2 मिनट मिले हैं, और चांसेस आर कि आप जो राइट लोग हैं, प्लस आई थिंक people miss the proper assessment skills as well, and also unfortunately the private business especially, we do not want to spend money on HR. We think HR is not a very useful area of expertise because they don't bring sales, they don't bring any revenue directly. So जो employers होते हैं उनका मकसद ये होता है कि वो experts को नहीं रखते, वो कहते हैं खाना कोई करो, 2 3 4 बंदे ला के रख लो और that'll be it. So I think that's another big mistake that we as employer make, that we do not have a proper system, especially अब जो AI आ रहा है, और जैसे आगे जो है आपकी डिजिटलाइजेशन आ रही है HR में, वो एक्सपेंसिव है लेकिन वो बिजनेस को वैल्यू ऐड करती है. तो जो एम्प्लॉयर्स हैं उनको चाहिए कि वो उसके ऊपर काम करें और अच्छे से अच्छा HR का स्ट्रॉन्ग सिस्टम बनाएं.
सो द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज कि एकेडमिक क्वालिफिकेशन कितना मैटर करती है आज के दौर में? क्या हम लोग स्किल्स को प्रायोरिटाइज करते हैं ओवर द डिग्री? इज इट द राइट?
I think there is a huge gap, and I think both sides, the one that is saying that we don't need academic qualification, and the other side that is saying that academic qualification is the only thing that we need. I think both are standing at the extreme opposite. We have to understand there is a certain requirement that we look into it. So, for example, I can't hire someone on my corporate floor who is metric fail, right? But at the same time, I don't want a PhD to sell real estate. I don't want a PhD to sell AIS or stuff like that. So I believe there's got to be a balance. Still, जो skill है वो हमेशा से employer के लिए priority रहे हैं. Money making people are always good. Problem solving is always good. If you're, I always say one thing. It's very simple. If your qualification is giving a solution to the employer for his problems, your qualification is good. If your qualification or your education is not going to add any value, your certificates are not good enough.
Perfect, perfect. ओके सो आप लीडरशिप और मैनेजरियल रोल्स पे आते हैं लाइक इफ यू आर हायरिंग फॉर दीज रोल्स तो आप क्या क्वालिटीज उसमें देखना चाहेंगे पर्सनली?
अब सबसे पहले तो एटीट्यूड है, because at the end of the day you are going to spend a lot of your time with me. ये है अगर बंदे का एटीट्यूड अच्छा है, स्किल्स मैं उसको सिखा दूंगा. एटीट्यूड बहुत मुश्किल है सिखाना, नेचर चेंज करनी बहुत मुश्किल है. Integrity, accountability, yes, but you cannot judge the integrity and accountability in the first meeting. But what you can judge in the very first meeting is whether they are nice people or not, whether they are patient or not. If I'm hiring someone on a very key position, I always make them wait. And if they go to the receptionist or the HR department and say 6 to 7 times, how long, कब मेरा इंटरव्यू होगा, तो मुझे समझ आ जाती है यार ये भी पेशेंट नहीं है, कब तो क्या होंगे. और अगर मुझे इंटरनली किसी को ऊपर लाना है, then there are multiple things I can see, their emotional intelligence, decision making abilities, उनकी फोकस जो है वैल्यू ऐड करने की तरफ कितनी है, और वो दूसरों के साथ आपने रिलेशनशिप को कितना डेवलप कर रहे हैं, तब तक मुझे पता होगा ना उन लोगों का. सो देन ऑब्वियसली आई नो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ पीपल दे आर. बट इफ आई एम हायरिंग and this is the first time I'm meeting them, the only thing that I'm looking for is for the higher position is attitude, because they'll be leading people, and if they want to become leaders, they should have a very good and very positive attitude.
Perfect. So having managed teams across different regions, what leadership lessons has a greater impact on your career itself?
I'm happy that you asked this question. I have worked in more than 30 countries, right? I have traveled more than 40, but I have worked in 30 countries. Used to organize events globally, and because of that, I had the opportunity. Otherwise, it's very difficult to get this much experience. Cultures. You have to respect others' cultures. You will see people from different religions. You will see people from different colors, from different backgrounds, and you have to build trust through understanding their culture. You have to listen to them.
Yeah, trust is the biggest
Because
factor.
sometimes you don't understand how we talk. Like Pakistanis, we probably talk too much. We get very close to others. We probably shake hands and give a hug as well in our second meeting. Well, it doesn't work like that in most of the cultures. And lead by example. I mean, always feel proud about your heritage. जहाँ से आप आए हैं उसको क्रिटिसाइज ना करें. मैंने ये बहुत सीखा है अक्रॉस कल्चर में काम करने का. हम अपने ही कल्चर को बुरा भला कहते हैं. should not do that and try to empower people, because ओवरसीज के अंदर ये बड़ी आसानी सी बात है कि जब आप उस कल्चर से डिफरेंट हैं तो लोग बहुत जल्द इरिटेट भी होते हैं आपसे. people have their own stereotypes towards you, so you have to respect people and you have to give them opportunity to talk, and you also have to be open about discussions. Don't just shut the people down and just tell them मैंने ये इस मौके पे बात नहीं करता, इस पे नहीं करता. And I think that be it. Mainly it's about understanding of the cultural differences that we have, allowing you to be fine.
So, like there are two peoples, A and B, having same kind of qualification, having same kind of degree, but A is growing rapidly and B is on the same position. So, what are the factors in the eye of you?